Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my video today, and today we're going to be doing my championship prediction reaction. Yes, it is. I know it's a bit late now because it is the 20th of May, and it has been 12 days since the championship finished. But we're going to react to mine. Well, the reason why I've been delaying this right now because I've been stuck at school because GCSE is coming up soon. So that's how right now I'm in GCSE, so I have to study a lot. So we're going to continue this and let's do this. So we're going to first start with, but before we do that, so a couple of rules there. If I go over 5 places or below 5 places, I get 0 points. If I get if well, like for example, if like over places, yeah, like for example, if I predicted like Burnley, if when Burnley finished first, and I predicted them to finish like ninth, that means if I did and that that so for example, if I predicted Burnley to finish like ninth place right now, and Burnley finished first, that means I get 0 points because that's over 5 places. Like, or for example, if I predicted QPR to finish below 5 places, like if I finished predicting 13th and um they finished like 19th, yeah, that means um I get 0 points. So that's how for 1 point, yeah, is if any teams I predicted is in the 5 points, like for say if I predicted Swansea to finish not Swansea, if I predicted Luton to finish like fourth, yeah, and I predicted to finish sixth, that means that's 1 point to me. Now I can um that means now I can know there are enough places. So yeah, and if I got the prediction right, I get 3 points. So anyway, let's just get into this video. So first thing, I'm going to start talk about the relegation battle. What for I predict for relegation? So 24th, I predicted Wigan to finish last, and funny enough, yeah, Wigan actually finished last. So that's already 3 points to me. So that's 1 point. Yeah. Well, for me, what I thought Wigan, yeah, wasn't a strong side. They weren't going to stay in the championship. That's why I predicted them last. So moving on, it'll be Rotherham. So Rotherham, I predict them to finish 23rd, and actually they finished 19th. So that's pretty much like 0 points already. So yeah, so no, I'm not gonna do no points because it's like waste of time. Yeah, well, Rotherham, I predict them to finish 23rd to get relegated, but actually they did it and they finished 19th in the table. So what I thought Rotherham were gonna go down because I thought it wasn't gonna be like because they were relegated last time when they won the championship, but I didn't see them finishing in the championship, which they did. They managed to survive, so that's one thing I'm happy about. Well, moving on, it will be going to Hull. I predicted finish Hull to finish 22nd, when actually Hull actually finished, if I can find it, Hull, and they finished 15th in the table, and so that's what I'm literally. I thought they were gonna go down, but then it didn't work out for me. They actually managed to survive. They were literally like the Red Bulls. They were literally just ruining teams because every time when teams were in a playoff push or relegation battle, Hull just kept drawing and winning, and they just wasn't passionate enough, and they wasn't strong. So that's how Hull were the Ryan Rebels. So that's how I predicted them. Next up, it'll be Swansea. So I predicted to finish 21st, and they finish. If I can find it, they Swansea finished 10th. So I was only 11 points behind. So that's how, yeah, I thought they were going to like struggle like they did last season, but no, they actually did. They actually surprised a lot of people. So that's how I predicted. So that's how I predicted Swansea. So I thought Swansea, as they had a hard season last season, I thought they're going to do the exact same. And I put them just to survive, but they finished 10th. Yeah. Moving on to Preston North End, and that is a proper stinker because this is the worst prediction. I predicted them 20th, and they actually finished, 12th. So it was literally like an 8 point gap for me. So that's how I predicted Preston. And at the start of the season, Preston had the most clean sheets in about 7 or 8 games, and then their clean sheets come to an end. So they didn't let concede goals. So that's how it works. Moving on into 90. So that was my 19th play. Now I'm moved into 18th, which I put Sunderland to finish 18th. And obviously, Sunderland were a team I thought they were going to struggle, but they didn't. They actually finished in the playoffs. They actually finished 6th in the playoffs. I thought Sunderland were going to be like, hey, sad team. I think they were just going to like finish. I think they had a hard season, finish like near by the relegation battle, but they managed to get playoff and they managed to do it on the last day of the season. But as we record this now, Sunderland failed to get into final. They managed to play against my team, Luton, and we managed to beat them just 1 goal ahead on aggregate. So we won 3-2 Sunderland. So they are staying in the Championship next season. Moving on into Reading, and Reading, I had a really, really bad feeling, because I thought they were going to finish. They were going to finish in I thought they were going to finish 17th, but actually they actually finished 22nd, I think, 22nd or 25th. It was 22nd, so they finished. They were just unlucky to avoid the relegation battle. So that is really a hard time. I had that prediction. Yeah. Moving on to Coventry, and Coventry, I had a really good season, and they really struggled at the start of the season with their pitch issues, stuff like that. And now they're in the playoffs, and now they're in the playoff final against Luton in the final. I think what the manager did and the new owners of Coventry, they really achieved what Coventry has done. Because if you remember, a couple of months ago, I went to see Coventry Stadium, and they do have a very good stadium. I think that'll be a good stadium for the Premier League, but obviously they're playing against my team, which I don't want them to be in the Prem. I want Luton to be in the Prem. So yeah, that is gonna be my So I predict Coventry to finish 16th, and they managed to do it. They managed to finish 5th. Moving on to West Brom and Albion, another team. No, they were surprised. A lot of people were going to be. West Brom actually finished ninth. Ninth, yeah. They were just unlucky to get the playoffs, yeah. It was just between the last game of the season, and they just were unlucky. They were literally, I can't remember who they played it, but they were really on the push, and they were just like pushing, and they failed to get playoffs, and now they're staying in the Championship this season. Moving on will be Blackburn, another team, yeah. They failed to get to playoffs. There was just one. There were the same points as Sunderland, but better goal difference. Sunderland had better goal difference, so obviously Blackburn were phenomenally dominated, battered, but they managed to beat Millwall. Millwall were 3-1 up, yeah, and Blackburn just managed to get 3 goals in the last 20 or half an hour of the game, and they stopped Millwall get playoffs. And a lot of Blue fans didn't want. A lot of people in the playoffs they didn't want Millwall because actually Millwall are the dangerous team. I'm not going to name them, but they're literally the dangerous / evil team in the Championship. Now moving on to Middlesbrough, another stinker I had. Middlesbrough, I predicted them to finish. I predicted them to finish 13th, yeah, but actually they really, really surprised us. They finished 4th just by the playoffs, yeah. I thought Middlesbrough were going to do bad as they failed last season to get playoffs, but now they obviously achieved it, got into the playoffs, yeah, but obviously now they're officially out of the playoffs because they just lost to Coventry in the playoff semi-final, and now Middlesbrough finished 4th, and now they're pretty much staying in the Championship another season in the Championship. So at least Middlesbrough pushed. I knew Middlesbrough were going to be a strong team since when the playoffs were going to be on there. A lot of people say Middlesbrough are the favourite because they do have a strong slash good team, and they were in the Premier League a couple of seasons ago or a couple of years ago. But I think Middlesbrough were like a team though I think they will really struggle, and they did. They managed to get into the playoffs just by luck. Now, moving on into the top 12 now. So, I put Bristol City to finish 12th place, and it wasn't really good for me because I literally, I finished number 4. They've actually finished 14th, yeah, so not too bad. Not too bad. Bristol City. I predicted Bristol will be just by luck to get playoffship, but unlucky to get playoffship. But I think there won't be, and I think they'll just finish just by the point of the competition, and they failed. And now Bristol City are now saying another year in the championship. So that's what I put on my prediction. So Bristol City finished 14th in the table, which is crazy, but I didn't see them getting playoffs. That's my prediction. Moving on into 11th place, I predicted Blackpool to finish 11th. Because as they did really well last season, I thought they were going to do the exact same thing like they did this season. Obviously, now as you know, Blackpool got relegated this season, and they were on the fight to survive, but there was just it was like the last 2 or 3 games, and they got relegated to play against Blackburn or Reading. I forgot who they played, but I think Blackpool were going to be a team. I thought they were going to stay up and do really well, but I just as you know, Blackpool got relegated there now into League One, so that's another team I really got really bad was. Now moving on into 10th place, QPR. This is a really bad one because I predicted to finish 10th, and actually they finished 20th. So I was just 10 below points behind. Because at the start of the season they were doing really, really well. They were in the playoffs push, and they wanted to get promoted, but obviously when they played against Luton, they're literally unbeatable. They literally just struggled since after losing to QPR and since losing to Luton. So the QPR had a really rough, and they even sacked their manager, and I forgot who the manager's name, but then they replaced him to Graham Ainsworth, and he just made them survive just by luck. So that's my prediction, but it was a proper poor prediction I put. Moving on to Millwall, I finished 9th, and funnily enough, I was just one step closer. They finished 8th. I thought Millwall would be a team they will fight for playoffs whilst they failed, and they did. I literally just got 1 point ahead. They were literally, as I said, they were literally about to get the playoffs, but then they lost 4-3 to Blackburn on the last kick of the game, and that ruined their promotion fight to get promoted, get playoffs. But as you know, Millwall are now finishing 8th. I now predict them finishing 9th, which disappointed. I was just 1 point away, but it's fine. At least I got one right so far. Moving on to Huddersfield, they finished 8th. Yeah, I thought they were going to, as they did last year, they would do really well, but they'll just miss out the playoffs there. But they had a proper stinker team. They finished 18th in the table. A lot of people think Huddersfield will actually do well this season, but as you know, they really failed horribly. So this is going to be my part. Yeah. So Huddersfield, since when they had sold the best players, they had a really, really good team, and then they just weren't good enough. They were just strong. It was they wasn't strong enough. So that's that happened to Huddersfield. Next up, we'll go to Burnley, a proper terrible one, yeah. I thought Burnley will just miss out the playoffs, but as you know, Burnley, they just done it. They just managed to win they managed to win the championship. They finished first, and I thought Burnley would be like a team that would just miss out on the playoffs, but they did it. They won. They won the league, so they finished first. So that is what I thought. Since when they signed Company for their new manager, I thought, nah, I don't think they'll do well with Company. But as Company has done well, they've really achieved themselves. So that's really happy. Yeah. So Burnley are going to the Premier League next season. So yeah. And now next up is the playoffs, yeah. In sixth place, I put Stoke to finish sixth and to get the playoffs. I think Stoke will be a good team, a strong team to get to the playoffs, but they obviously failed horribly. They actually finished 16th. So I was just 10 predictions low, so which is disappointing. So I thought, yeah, as I said, Stoke will be a strong and passionate team since they were doing well last season and they struggled this season. So that's going to be my worst prediction ever. Yeah. So moving on to Luton Town, yeah, my home team. Yeah, my team I support for a long time now. Yeah, which yeah. So Luton Town. I think I think they'll get to the playoff again to do this season, and they did get to the playoff. But I was just again got my prediction wrong. I predicted them to finish fifth, and they finished third. Yeah, so that is honestly my prediction. Yeah, because since Nathan Jones got them to the playoffs last season, they were doing really well, and now since now they're not really sacked Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones was offered to a new club to go to Southampton and give Southampton an extra boost, but as you know, Southampton are now relegated now. They go into the championship for the first time in like 11 or 12 years. So yeah, so I thought Luton Town will like be in the playoffs there just by luck here, but they did. But I got my prediction wrong. Yeah, they've signed like good players. They've signed like Carson Morris. Um, who else they signed? The Leeds United player, which I forgot his name. Um, and they had like strong teams like Adebayo, even Horvat, Gabriel Osho, Sonny Bradley, um, just like good players. Yeah, like they were like strong teams. Yeah, so that was my yeah. Moving on to Sheffield United. Yeah, Sheffield United. I thought they would just as it did last season, they'll get in the playoffs. I think they'll do the same thing this season. But no, they finished second. They just by luck by playoffs, yeah. And Sheffield United were on down under the pressure by Middlesbrough and Luton because they were catching up to get second place. But as they achieved themselves, managed to get promoted to the Premier League, which is an achievement for them because they were on the fight to get promoted, and they did. But it's just didn't get the trophy as time because Burnley won. But Burnley also got to win because they were on high points. So, what I think, yeah, I think Sheffield United, I predict them to finish fourth. They finished second because they had a very strong side. Because since when they lost Aaron Ramsdale last season, they really, on the parts, they really didn't do well. And now they're into the Premier League next season, back since 2021, and now they're back for another time in the Premier League. So this is how it works. So that's how it works here. And now going into third place, I think the team will finish third. I predict that Watford to be in the third, yeah, but as you know, Watford obviously did horribly wrong. They finished 11th, yeah. A lot of people think Watford will be that they'll get promoted, but no, they honestly obviously failed miserably. They literally, since when they sacked the manager a couple of weeks ago, they really were. They weren't going to they weren't going to do well. They weren't going to be like a team that would team that were going to fight. I thought they were going to get promoted, but no, they finished 11th. But now, since, as I said, they sacked the manager, they weren't doing well. They were honestly doing so bad. Yeah, and then since then they were really struggling. So yeah, that's Watford. I didn't see Watford will get promoted. I just saw themselves getting playoffs, but as you know, it failed horribly, and they're now they're into the championship for another season. So now it's coming down to the last two teams, second and first place. In second place, I predicted Cardiff to get promoted, but as you know, Cardiff had a really bad stuff like whatever it's called, and a really bad poor side, and now Cardiff City beat they came finished 21st, which I predicted them to get promoted, but they failed so bad. I think they'll get relegated next season because they're not like a team they'll be strong enough. Because a couple of seasons ago they were in the Premier League, and a couple of seasons ago they were fighting for playoffs, and now they're doing this badly. So I don't see Cardiff City. Staying up next season. I think they will go down next season. So I thought I was being nice to Cardiff fans and let them get promoted, but no, they honestly really really had a hard time. So yeah, and now finally moving on to the team I thought I was going to win, but no, they didn't. It was Norwich City. I think Norwich City, since they do it every year. Every time when they go down, they go up. They go down, they go up. Yeah, but Norwich City, they really were a team that really struggled so much. Yeah, I predicted them to win the league, but no, they didn't. They actually finished 13th, 13 places below my prediction. So I thought, yeah, Norwich City will be like a good team. They'll stay up. They'll be strong. But no, they finished 13th, and now they're staying another season for the championship. Yeah. Well, that is my prediction reaction. I got a few shocking teams. I only got one correct, and that was the Wigan prediction. I predicted them to finish last, and they finished last. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share, and hit the bell. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.